Hindustani, Hindustani, Hindstani, lit. Of Hindustan, historically also known as Hindavi. Dehlvi and Rekhta is the lingua franca of North India and Pakistan. It is an Indo-Aryan language, deriving primarily from the Khariboli dialect of Delhi, and incorporates a large amount of vocabulary from Sanskrit, Persian, Arabic and Chagatai. It is a pluricentric language, with two official forms, Modern Standard Hindi and Modern Standard Urdu, which are its standardized registers, and which may be called Hindustani or Hindi-Urdu when taken together. The colloquial registers are mostly indistinguishable, and even though the official standards are nearly identical in grammar, they differ in literary conventions and in academic and technical vocabulary, with Urdu adopting stronger Persian, Turkic and Arabic influences, and Hindi relying more heavily on Sanskrit. Before the partition of the British Indian Empire, the terms Hindustani, Urdu, and Hindi were synonymous. All covered what would be called Urdu and Hindi today. The term Hindustani is still used for the colloquial language and lingua franca of North India and Pakistan, for example for the language of Bollywood films, as well as for several quite different varieties of Hindi spoken outside the Indian subcontinent, such as Fiji Hindi of Fiji and the Caribbean Hindustani of Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, Jamaica, Barbados, and the rest of the Caribbean. Hindustani is also spoken by a small number of people in Mauritius and South Africa. History. Early forms of present-day Hindustani developed from the Middle Indo-Aryan Apabhramsha vernaculars of present-day North India in the 7th–13th centuries. Amir Khusro, who lived in the 13th century CE during the Delhi Sultanate period in North India, used these forms, which was the lingua franca of the period, in his writings and referred to it as Hindavi. The Delhi Sultanate, which comprised several Turkic and Afghan dynasties that ruled from Delhi, was succeeded by the Mughal Empire in 1526. Although the Mughals were of Timurid, Gurkhani, Turco-Mongol descent, they were Persianized, and Persian had gradually become the state language of the Mughal Empire after Babur, a continuation since the introduction of Persian by Central Asian Turkic invaders who migrated into the Indian subcontinent, amongst the most notable Mahmud of Ghazni, and the patronization of it by the earlier Turco-Afghan Delhi Sultanate. The basis in general for the introduction of Persian language into the subcontinent was set, from its earliest days, by various Persianized Central Asian Turkic and Afghan dynasties. In the 18th century, towards the end of the Mughal period, with the fragmentation of the empire and the elite system, a variant of Khariboli, one of the successors of Apabhramsha vernaculars at Delhi and nearby cities, came to gradually replace Persian as the lingua franca among the educated elite upper class, particularly in northern India, though Persian still retained much of its preeminence for a short period. The term Hindustani, literally, of Hindustan, was the name given to that variant of Khariboli, for socio-political reasons, though essentially the variant of Khariboli with Persian vocabulary. The emerging prestige dialect became also known as Urdu, properly Zabani-Urdu Moala, language of the court, or Zabani-Urdu, language of the camp, in Persian, derived from Turkic Urdu, camp, cognate with English horde, due to its origin as the common speech of the Mughal army. The more highly Persianized version, later established as a language of the court, was called Rekhta, or mixed, as an emerging common dialect. Hindustani absorbed large numbers of Persian, Arabic, and Turkic words, and as Mughal conquest grew it spread as a lingua franca across much of northern India. Written in the Perso-Arabic script Devanagari script, It remained the primary lingua franca of northern India for the next 4 centuries, although it varied significantly in vocabulary depending on the local language, and achieved the status of a literary language, alongside Persian. In Muslim courts, its development was centered on the poets of the Mughal courts of cities in Uttar Pradesh such as Delhi, Lucknow, and Agra. John Fletcher Hurst, in his book published in 1891, mentioned that the Hindustani, a camp language or language of the camps of moral courts at Delhi, was not regarded by philologists as distinct language but only as a dialect of Hindi with admixture of Persian. He continued, "But it has all the magnitude and importance of separate language. It is linguistic result of Mohammedan invasions of 11th and 12th centuries and is spoken, except in rural Bengal, by many Hindus in North India and by Musalman population in all parts of India. Next to English, it was the official language of British Indian Empire, was commonly written in Arabic or Persian characters, and was spoken by approximately 100 million people. When the British colonized the Indian subcontinent from the late 18th through to the late 19th century, they used the words Hindustani, Hindi, and Urdu interchangeably. They developed it as the language of administration of British India, further preparing it to be the official language of modern India and Pakistan. However, with independence, use of the word Hindustani declined, being largely replaced by Hindi and Urdu, or Hindi-Urdu, when either of those was too specific. More recently, the word Hindustani has been used for the colloquial language of Bollywood films, which are popular in both India and Pakistan and which cannot be unambiguously identified as either Hindi or Urdu. Modern Standard Hindi, Standard Hindi, one of the official languages of India, is based on the Khariboli dialect of the Delhi region and differs from Urdu in that it is usually written in the indigenous Devanagari script of India and exhibits less Persian and Arabic influence than Urdu. Many scholars today employ a Sanskritized form of Hindi developed primarily in Varanasi, the Hindu holy city, which is based on the Eastern Hindi dialect of the region and thus a separate language from official Standard Hindi. It has a literature of 500 years, with prose, poetry, religion and philosophy, under the Bahmani kings and later on Kutab Shahi, Adil Shahi, etc. It is a living language, still prevalent all over the Deccan Plateau. Note that the term Hindustani has generally fallen out of common usage in modern India, except to refer to Indian as a nationality and a style of Indian classical music prevalent in northern India. The term used to refer to it is Hindi or Urdu, depending on the religion of the speaker, and regardless of the mix of Persian or Sanskrit words used by the speaker. One could conceive of a wide spectrum of dialects and registers, with the highly Persianized Urdu at one end of the spectrum and a heavily Sanskrit-based dialect, spoken in the region around Varanasi, at the other end of the spectrum. In common usage in India, the term Hindi includes all these dialects except those at the Urdu end of the spectrum. Thus, the different meanings of the word Hindi include, among others, standardized Hindi as taught in schools throughout India, formal or official Hindi advocated by Purushottam Das Tandon and as instituted by the post-independence Indian government, heavily influenced by Sanskrit, the vernacular dialects of Hindustani as spoken throughout India, the neutralized form of Hindustani used in popular television and films, or the more formal neutralized form of Hindustani used in broadcast and print news reports. Modern Standard Urdu. Urdu is the national language of Pakistan and an officially recognized regional language of India. It is also an official language in the Indian states of Jammu and Kashmir, National Capital Territory of Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Telangana that have significant Muslim populations. Bazar Hindustani. In a specific sense, Hindustani may be used to refer to the dialects and varieties used in common speech, in contrast with the standardized Hindi and Urdu. This meaning is reflected in the use of the term Bazar Hindustani. In other words, the language of the street or the marketplace, as opposed to the perceived refinement of formal Hindi, Urdu, or even Sanskrit. Thus, the Webster's New World Dictionary defines the term Hindustani as the principal dialect of Hindi, Urdu, used as a trade language throughout North India and Pakistan. Hindi and Urdu. Although, at the spoken level, Urdu and Hindi are considered registers of a single language, they differ vastly in literary and formal vocabulary, where literary Urdu draws heavily on Persian and Arabic. Literary Hindi draws heavily on Sanskrit and to a lesser extent Prakrit. The grammar and base vocabulary, most pronouns, verbs, adpositions, etc., of both Urdu and Hindi, however, are the same and derive from a Prakritic base, and both have a heavy Persian influence. The standardized registers Urdu and Hindi are collectively known as Hindi-Urdu. Hindustani is perhaps the lingua franca of the west and north of the Indian subcontinent, though it is understood fairly well in other regions also, especially in the urban areas. A common vernacular sharing characteristics with Urdu, Sanskritized Hindi, and regional Hindi. Hindustani is more commonly used as a vernacular than highly Arabicized, Persianized Urdu, or highly Sanskritized Hindi. This can be seen in the popular culture of Bollywood or, more generally, the vernacular of Pakistanis and North Indians, which generally employs a lexicon common to both Urdu and Hindi speakers. Minor subtleties in region will also affect the brand of Hindustani, sometimes pushing the Hindustani closer to Urdu or to Hindi. One might reasonably assume that the Hindustani spoken in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, known for its usage of Urdu, and Varanasi, a holy city for Hindus and thus using highly Sanskritized Hindi, is somewhat different. Names. Amir Khusrosi a. 1300 referred to this language of his writings as Dehlvi, of Delhi, or Hindavi, of Hindustan. During this period, Hindustani was used by Sufis in promulgating their message across the Indian subcontinent. After the advent of the Mughals in the subcontinent, Hindustani acquired more Persian loanwords, Rekhta, mixture, and Hindi, of Hindustan, became popular names for the same language until the 18th century. The name Urdu appeared around 1780. During the British Raj, the term Hindustani was used by British officials. In 1796, John Borthwick Gilchrist published a grammar of the Hindustani language. Upon partition, India and Pakistan established national standards that they called Hindi and Urdu, respectively, and attempted to make distinct, with the result that Hindustani commonly, but mistakenly, came to be seen as a mixture of Hindi and Urdu. Grierson, in his highly influential Linguistic Survey of India, proposed that the names Hindustani, Urdu, and Hindi be separated in use for different varieties of the Hindustani language, rather than as the overlapping synonyms they frequently were. We may now define the three main varieties of Hindustani as follows. Hindustani is primarily the language of the Upper Gangetic Doaba, and is also the lingua franca of India, capable of being written in both Persian and Devanagari characters, and without purism, avoiding alike the excessive use of either Persian or Sanskrit words when employed for literature. The name Urdu can then be confined to that special variety of Hindustani in which Persian words are of frequent occurrence, and which hence can only be written in the Persian character. And, similarly, Hindi can be confined to the form of Hindustani, in which Sanskrit words abound, and which hence can only be written in the Devanagari character. Literature. Official status. Hindi, a major standardized register of Hindustani, is declared by the Constitution of India as the official language, Rajabhasha, of the Union. Art. 343. 1. In this context, Union means the federal government and not the entire country. India has 23 official languages. At the same time, however, the definitive text of federal laws is officially the English text, and proceedings in the higher appellate courts must be conducted in English. At the state level, Hindi is one of the official languages in 9 of the 29 Indian states and 3 union territories, namely Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Himachal Pradesh, and Haryana, and UTs are Delhi, Chandigarh, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In the remaining states, Hindi is not an official language. In the state of Tamil Nadu, studying Hindi is not compulsory in the state curriculum. However, an option to take the same as second or third language does exist. In many other states, studying Hindi is usually compulsory in the school curriculum as a third language, the first 2 languages being the state's official language and English, though the intensiveness of Hindi in the curriculum varies. Urdu, also a major standardized register of Hindustani, is also one of the languages recognized by the Indian Constitution and is an official language of the Indian states of Telangana, Bihar, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir, and Uttar Pradesh. Although the government school system in most other states emphasizes modern standard Hindi, at universities in cities such as Lucknow, Aligarh and Hyderabad, Urdu is spoken and learnt, and Saf Urdu is treated with just as much respect as Shuddha Hindi. Urdu is also the national language of Pakistan, where it shares official language status with English. Although English is used in most elite circles and Punjabi is the native language of the majority of the population, Urdu is the lingua franca. Hindustani was the official language of India at the time of the British Raj and was synonymous with both Hindi and Urdu. After India's independence in 1947, the Subcommittee on Fundamental Rights recommended that the official language of India be Hindustani. Hindustani, written either in Devanagari or the Perso-Arabic script at the option of the citizen, shall, as the national language, be the first official language of the Union. Quote, however, this recommendation was not adopted by the Constituent Assembly. Hindustani outside South Asia, besides being the lingua franca of South Asia in India and Pakistan, Hindustani is spoken among the South Asian diaspora and their descendants in North America. In Canada, for example, Urdu and Hindi are 2 of the fastest growing languages. South America, the Caribbean, Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. Hindustani was also spoken widely in Burma during British rule. Many older Burmese, particularly the Anglo-Indians and Anglo-Burmese of the country, still speak it, although it has had no official status in the country since military rule. Phonology, grammar, vocabulary. Both Hindi and Urdu contain around 5,500 words of Persian and Arabic origin. Writing system. Historically, Hindustani was written in the Kaithi, Devanagari, and Urdu alphabets. Kaithi and Devanagari are 2 of the Brahmic scripts native to India, whereas Urdu is a derivation of the Perso-Arabic script Nastaliq, which is preferred calligraphic style for Urdu. Today, Hindustani continues to be written in the Urdu alphabet, and this is nearly exclusive in Pakistan. In India, the Hindi register is officially written in Devanagari, a relative of Kaithi, and Urdu in Perso-Arabic script Nastaliq. to the extent that these standards are partly defined by their script. However, in popular publications in India, Urdu is also written in Devanagari script, with slight variations to establish a Devanagari Urdu alphabet alongside the Devanagari Hindi alphabet. Because of Anglicization in South Asia and the international use of the Latin script, Hindustani is occasionally written in the Latin script. This adaptation is called Roman Urdu or Romanized Hindi, depending upon the register used. Because the Bollywood film industry is a major proponent of the Latin script, the use of Latin script to write in Hindi and Urdu is growing amongst younger internet users. Because Urdu and Hindi are mutually intelligible when spoken, Romanized Hindi and Roman Urdu are as well. Unlike Devanagari Hindi and Urdu in the Urdu alphabet, are mutually intelligible. Sample text. Following is a sample text. Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In the two official registers of Hindustani, Hindi and Urdu. Because this is a formal legal text, differences in formal vocabulary are maximized. Formal Hindi. 1. Nastaliq transcription, transliteration, IAST, and ʊs្t 1. Sapi Manushian ko gaurav aur adhikaran ke vishay menjanam jitsvitantrata praptain. Unhen buddhi aur antaratma ki den praptai aur parasbar unhen baicha ke bhav shay bartav kana. Chahiya. Transcription. IPA. Nt edek by menjo ko revar edkaro ke vishajmi dnm ditsvetentreta praptach. Nebdrnt ratmarki dn praptach parespar neba to ke bavshay bertav. Kernatiari. Gloss. Word to word. Article 1. All human beings to dignity and rights matter in from birth freedom acquired is. Them to reason and conscience's endowment acquired is and always them to brotherhood spirit with. Behavior to do should. Translation. Grammatical. Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Formal Urdu. Nastaliq transcription. Devanagari transcription. 1. Transliteration. Ayla LC. Davar 1. Tamam insan azad aur hukuk ʊs្t kit barshay barabar pidrach ui hain. Unhen zamir aur aql wadiat hui he. Asli unhenek dusre ke sarth bhai che karsuluk kana chahi. Transcription. IPA. DFAXTMMNSAN Azad RHQUQO is AKETO Barshay Baraba PDAHEHNES Emir REQL. Wedi AHIHSLENEECDUSREKE SAT BIT AKRS Luk Kernatiari. Gloss. Word to word. Article 1. All humans free, and rights and dignities consideration from equal born are, to them conscience and intellect endowed is. Therefore, they one another's with brotherhood's treatment they must. Translation. Grammatical. Article 1. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience. Therefore, they should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Hindustani and Bollywood. The predominant Indian film industry Bollywood, located in Mumbai, Maharashtra uses dialects of Hindustani, Awadhi, Rajasthani, Bhojpuri, Punjabi and Bambai Hindi, along with liberal use of English for the dialogue and soundtrack lyrics. Movie titles are often screened in three scripts: Latin, Devanagari and occasionally Perso-Arabic. The use of Urdu or Hindi in films depends on the film's context. Historical films set in the Delhi Sultanate or Mughal Empire are almost entirely in Urdu, whereas films based on Hindu mythology make heavy use of Hindi with Sanskrit vocabulary. Urdu films and Lollywood. The Pakistani film industry, centered historically in Lahore, has seen a rise in Punjabi movies lately. Urdu languages have seen a surge throughout Pakistan, specifically Karachi, with New Age films, and to a lesser extent in Islamabad and Lahore. See also Languages of India, Languages of Pakistan, List of Hindi authors, List of Urdu writers, List of Sanskrit and Persian roots in Hindi, Persian and Urdu. Notes. Bibliography. Asher, R. E. 1994. Hindi. In Asher. ed. pp. 1547–1549. Asher, R. E. ed. 1994. The Encyclopedia of Language and Linguistics. Oxford. Pergamon Press. ISBN 0080359434. Bailey, Thomas G. 1950. Teach Yourself Hindustani. London. English Universities Press. Chatterjee, Sunny T. K. 1960. Indo-Aryan and Hindi. Rev. 2nd ed. Calcutta. Firma K. L. Mukhopadhyay. Dua. Hanzar. 1992. Hindi-Urdu as a pluricentric language. In M. G. Klein, ed. Pluricentric Languages. Differing Norms in Different Nations. Berlin. Mouton de Gruyter. ISBN 3-11-012855-1. Dua. Hanzar. 1994a. Hindustani. In Asher. ed. pp. 1554. Dua. Hanzar. 1994b. Urdu. In Asher. ed. pp. 4863–4864. Rai, Amrit. 1984. A House Divided. The Origin and Development of Hindi Hindustani. Delhi. Oxford University Press. ISBN 0-19561643-X. Further reading. Henry Blockman. 1877. English and Urdu Dictionary. Romanized. 8 ed. Calcutta. Printed at the Baptist Mission Press for the Calcutta School Book Society. p. 215. Retrieved 6 July 2011. The University of Michigan. John Dowson. 1908. A Grammar of the Urdu or Hindustani Language. 3 ed. London. K. Paul. Trench. Trubner & Co. Limited. p. 264. Retrieved 6 July 2011. The University of Michigan. John Dowson. 1872. A Grammar of the Urdu or Hindustani Language. London. Trubner & Co. p. 264. Retrieved 6 July 2011. Oxford University. John Thomson Platts. 1874. A Grammar of the Hindustani or Urdu Language. Volume 6423 of Harvard College Library Preservation Microfilm Program. London. W. H. Allen. p. 399. Retrieved 6 July 2011. Oxford University. John Thomson Platts. 1892. A Grammar of the Hindustani or Urdu Language. London. W. H. Allen. p. 399. Retrieved 6 July 2011. The New York Public Library. John Thomson Platts. 1884. A Dictionary of Urdu, Classical Hindi, and English. Reprint ed. London. H. Milford. p. 1259. Retrieved 6 July 2011. Oxford University. Shakespeare. John. A Dictionary. Hindustani and English. 3rd ed. Much ENL. London. Printed for the author by J. L. Cox and Son. Sold by Parbury, Allen & Co. 1834. Taylor, Joseph. A Dictionary. Hindustani and English. Available at Hathi Trust. A Dictionary. Hindustani and English, abridged from the quarto edition of Major Joseph Taylor, as edited by the late W. Hunter, by William Carmichael Smith, Emari Boli. Hindustani. Khan Academy. Hindi-Urdu. Academic lessons taught in Hindi-Urdu. Encyclopaedia Britannica. 11th edition. Hindustani. Hindi. Urdu. Hindustani. Khariboli. Hindustani Fac at the Wayback Machine. Archived 27 October 2009. Hindustani as an anxiety between Hindi-Urdu commitment. Hindi. Urdu. Hindustani. Hindi-Urdu. History of Hindustani. Hindi, Urdu, English, Kalashikoar, Nuristani, Pashto, Comparative word list. GRN report for Hindustani. Hindustani poetry. Hindustani online resources. Biggest Hindustani Indian Poetry Forum. National Language Authority. Urdu. Pakistan. Muqtadar Karumi Zaban. Hindustani Language and Literature.